I am so excited to be able to speak with you today. Merry Christmas. This is a time of reflection, a time of celebration, particularly with family and friends. I'm so happy that myself personally, that I have the opportunity to spend time with my family, what is really important to me. My wife, our children, our grandchildren, and many of our close friends. I consider you as close friends. Wherever you hear the sound of my voice, and you get the opportunity to see me, I think it's so very important that I speak to you now like a father. One of the things that was said to me many, many years ago, and I get questioned oftentimes how I have this independence because, money is a spirit. It will only stay with you if you respect it. So we had a season of our lives that now I am the boss. Early on, there was a great demand on my money. It was great demand to cover for expenses. And so I learned the importance of making certain that, number one, my family's taken care of. And this is what we do as agents, as planners, as managers. And one of the secrets that was shared with me many years ago when I was 20 years old. And I admired this great man. He was in his 80s. He would come to the bank where I was working. And he would stay for a couple of hours and he would leave. And what stood out from him, he had on a big white hat, so he stood out. Had a pipe in his mouth, he stood out. Had glasses on, and he said, "I'll see you later." And so one day I had the opportunity to sit down with him. I asked him, did he have a moment? I would love to speak with him, to be like him one day, to have the freedom, to have the independence, to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And I was looking forward to that day. So he said, "Solomon, how old are you?" I said, 20. He said, "I admire that. I admire that you come into a man and have a lot of experience. And I'm going to give you a formula. I'm going to give you a secret. And if you follow this formula, if you follow this secret that I'm about to share with you, you will have the financial freedom to do what it is that you want to do." Oh, I was so eager, waiting for the words that was going to come out of his mouth that I thought was so much wisdom and insight. He said, 10, 10, 80, 72. Oh, that allowed me to really want to hear what he had to say. He said, "Solomon, as you're working each and every day, 5 days a week, you're 20 years old, I would suggest pay yourself first. 10, 10, 80, 72. He said, first thing is to honor your God. Give 10% of your gross income. Put it into the temple, put it into your ministry, whatever your faith is. Give that first. The second thing is put away 10% first. Not after you paid all your expenses and try to put in 10%. Do it first till it becomes a habit. It's like breathing. Live off the 80%. Then use the rule of 72. Oh, it's like me watching a wonderful movie. I sat there waiting for the words that was coming out of this wonderful man full of wisdom. He said, you take the interest rate that you're receiving. It has to be compounded interest, not simple interest. If it's 6%, for an example, you divide that into 72. You get 12. Your principal amount that you start with, it doubles in 12 years. So I'm thinking, if I'm 20, that means at age 32, now my principal has doubled. 12 years after that, double. 12 years after that, doubles. That means that's 3 times, and that's 36 years. So at age 20, I'm now 56. So it was that formula that I decided, 10% of my earnings. Why was that so important? Because I meet many people that make a resolution on January 1st. I want to lose more weight. I want to gain more weight. I want more muscles. I want better relationships. But they fail. I want to save more money. But what if your income drops? You hear those inner voices when you're unable to fulfill the commitment you made to yourself. You're unable to do that because the income is dropped. But if you're using the formula of 10%, if your income dropped, I'm still saving 10%. That was one of the secrets that he shared with me. So today, after using that formula and teaching it to many agents, many families and friends, they had a financial independence. Now, once that is done, what is the next step that I've done? Creating wealth with discounted dollars. In other words, 2 cents, 3 cents on the dollar. Why is that so important? If you're saving to create, time may not allow you to do that. So I want to create it with discounted dollars. That's number one. Number two, I want to conserve it. I want to ensure that it's conserved, it's put in place. Thirdly, I want it to accumulate. Fourthly, I want to transfer that wealth so that it's generation wealth going to one generation to the next. That's the importance. That's the miracle of life insurance. Well, how do I determine that? Your economic power. What is your economic power? You know, it actually, your economic power is your future ability to earn money. Some people call it your human life value. You get credit based on that. You buy a home based on that. So I can create that wealth. That's my economic power. But what happens when the light goes out? My time is up. It would simply means that all of the talent, all of the ability, it travels with me to the grave. But if I have restored that, my future potential income, now I have a love letter that I'm putting in place that does not depreciate in value. These are some of the principles I want to share with you. When I was in the business, my first 3 years, I had the impact. My brother believed in me. His life was cut short at 33 years old. 2 beautiful daughters, a wife. But because his belief in me and the courage I had to make sure that his family was taken care of, his family was able to stay in the home, educate his children. The miracle of life insurance. Ensure your human life value. Ensure your economic power. If you have not gotten stories, because this is when you come to a place that you realize what it is that you are doing is making a difference. It's not selling a product. It's making a difference in the lives of the people that you take care of. Now, if you don't have those stories, tell the stories of things that you've heard and the importance and the miracle. It's a noble profession, helping and serving people. Then I had a situation during the pandemic. I had over 19 lives that was impacted. And of course, I was sad. I had an empty feeling. They died too soon. But there was also an inner voice that gave me the comfort that they believed in me. And in many ways, what it said to me, Solomon, you are a bridge. In other words, you connect the people that matter most to the person that's left this world. You're giving them peace of mind, security. This is what we do. You are a bridge. So I use this to share with others what it is that we do make a difference. what it is that we don't do, we make a difference. And it could be long lasting and life changing. So as we are focusing on this year, the holiday, the laughter, thinking about our families and our friends and celebrating, exchanging gifts, don't forget the importance of leaving something in place that I call a love letter to your family. You lead by example. It should never be where there's sorrow both times. When you leave this world and the sorrow that you have, it does not provide income replacement to your family. And you can create that with discounted dollars. I am so happy to say to all of you, congratulations, and continue to let your light shine that others can benefit from this light that's inside of you. In other words, stay inspired. Keep on keeping on, because what you do make a difference. Enjoy your holiday.